What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. So today we're going to talk about something that hasn't really been super beaten to death, but it's something that comes up over and over again, and pretty much every single client that I have at some point will come to me and ask me about this. So let's talk about it. Yeah, so sweeteners. All right, sweeteners for your not necessarily your food, but I guess so if you're eating cake and shit like that, but sweeteners for your drinks. You know, these diet drinks. Diet Rockstar, diet this, diet that, fucking all these different things. Even coffee, like, you know, if you get your coffee with it, there's different sweeteners now. If you go to, you know, Starbucks or whatever, there's like 3 different kind of sweeteners in the fucking thing. And people always ask me, like, Jerry, can I have this? Can I have that? And, you know, I usually reply, stick with water. Just water. And they, you know, they don't understand why, because they're like, well, there's no calories in it, Jerry. And if there's no calories in it, it shouldn't matter because it's all about calories. They're like, well, if you're working with me, you know that fucking... the whole calorie thing is not fucking where I live. And that's not where you live if you're working with me. But, you know, there are people out there that they're like, oh, you know, basically, you know, so-and-so is doing this and they're getting results. Okay, so-and-so, first of all, understand that everybody is very fucking different. Everybody. Now, if there's a reason, you know, if you're asking me, can I have this? I need to have this. This is going to make things so much better for me. There's right off the bat, there's a problem already. Okay, if you need that, and you can't just give it up because it's not good for you, then there's a problem already with something in your brain that says you need it. Now, a lot of people say, well, it just makes things easier. Fuck easier, okay? Like, there's a bottom line. There's a lot of things that make things easier. It doesn't mean that they're fucking good for you, plain and simple. You know, alcohol makes things easier to deal with at your fucking job. Doesn't mean that it's good for you and you should do it, you know? So bottom line, we're going to talk about the problems with these sweeteners. And the, let's see, let me get through this. All right, so basically the one problem that I have with sweeteners is in many people, and they don't even fucking know it because you've been on the sweeteners for so long, in many people, they cause inflammation. And what I mean by inflammation is the fact that in your body, essentially, I'll just read it right off here. Artificial sweeteners can cause inflammation, especially if you're already prone to it. Aspartame is a common artificial sweetener that many people identify as the culprit. Now, the main thing that, you know, that is, I guess, NutraSweet would be the brand that, it's the blue packets, that's aspartame. The inflammation in the body that is caused by these sweeteners, in essence, when the body has inflammation, it's a bad thing. It's basically trying to deal with something that is hard for it to do, whether it's digest or heal, etc., whatever the case may be. You know, when you bang your arm and it gets inflamed, that inflammation is there to cause, you know, a reaction so that your arm can heal. Your body's technically trying to heal. Now, if you're working out and you're trying to build muscle and you're trying to burn fat and you're trying to do all these things and your body has inflammation, guess what? It's not going to be good at doing those things because it's trying to deal with whatever problem that it has as it is. And one of those things that, you know, causes the inflammation is the gut bacteria. The bacteria, the good bacteria in your stomach is actually killed by these artificial sweeteners. So therefore, you can't digest food easily. You can't digest micro and macronutrients easily. It causes strain on the body. It's trying to work harder than it has to be able to digest these foods. Now, if you're not digesting the foods right, well, what the fuck? You're not repairing your body as fast as it possibly can be repaired. You're not getting the results that you possibly could be by having, you know, the right amount of good bacteria, by not having these fucking sweeteners in our body, and not having the inflammation. I mean, we all have inflammation in our body due to stress, all kinds of shit like that. When you're adding things to it like that, it's not good. And most people, I'd say, you know, if you had like a, you know, a Diet Coke a day, it's probably not going to affect you that bad. You know, most people. Some people, very bad. But that's not how it works. Most people will have like a fucking gallon of some kind of fucking fluid that's sweetened with some kind of sweetener. Now, a good example of this is my fiance, Erin. Now, Erin has been drinking sweet tea. She's from the South in Virginia. I like to bust balls and say she's from the South because I'm from New England and Virginia is technically the South for me. But her, you know, unsweetened tea that she would drink, and she would put sweetener in it. And I think we both noticed that when we were in Mexico, you know, she was barely drinking any water. It was mostly this sweetened sweet tea. And she said, you know, I don't feel good. Like, I feel kind of, you know, gross. So she was having the inflammation effects from, you know, the sweetener. So when we got back, you know, she's also not gluten intolerant, but gluten sensitive, to where if she eats certain things with gluten, it doesn't send her to the hospital, but causes a reaction in her body where she doesn't feel good and she gets inflammation. She retains water. She doesn't feel well. Well, when we cut the sweeteners out when she got home, she went with basically mostly water and just unsweetened tea to begin with. So it's just like basically like black tea or black coffee, iced coffee that she drinks. Lo and behold, I mean, she dropped like 6 pounds like that, like in the first week. And, you know, she was like, holy shit. You know, even I was like, wow, you know, it was a lot of water retention from the fucking inflammation. As her body started to heal, it released that water that was on there. You could tell. Now, you know, her body, in literally, she started a contest prep diet to get ready for a show. I think it's the end of May, I believe. Anyways, we started early just to start experimenting with some things to see how our body reacted. We haven't literally had to cut no calories, no carbs. We actually decreased cardio that she was doing. So she's doing less cardio now. And she's like 2 pounds away from her stage weight right now, which is ridiculous. And she's like 13 weeks out. You know, like her body became such an efficient machine at doing what it needed to do that you don't have to, you know, push the body to the limits where, you know, if you have the inflammation like that, it's not healing. It's not doing the things it needs to do fast enough and efficiently. When it is, it uses those carbohydrates, it uses those fats, it uses those proteins. You know, even your sleep gets better when you don't have that inflammation. Everything in general. And her body is working like a well-tuned fucking machine right now. And, you know, it's to the point now where it's like, you know, she's so close to competition weight. I mean, she's 13 weeks out. We may have to start adding food as it goes towards the show just to maintain her muscle mass and stuff like that. But the bottom line was her body was not working efficiently because of the inflammation. And I'm willing to bet last year when she dieted for show, where she had to go a lot more extreme to get herself in contest shape, was probably due to the sweeteners and stuff that were in her diet and little things that people don't think about. You know, like simple things like if it fits your macro stuff, like some people could eat. To be honest with you, we'll just use Pop-Tarts as an example. Eat the Pop-Tarts, and the chemicals that are in the Pop-Tarts, it's not the calories, it's not the sugar. The chemicals that are in the Pop-Tarts could actually cause a reaction in some people where they get inflammation. I mean, it happens, there are people that are obese, they have inflammation through the fucking roof. Their bodies are not the same as, you know, the one person that gets pointed out, I think the most, is Matt Ogus. You know, they point out the fact that Matt Ogus can eat Chipotle, he can eat Pop-Tarts, he can eat basically whatever the fuck he wants and still get shredded. But people also have to understand that Matt Ogus has a very individual set of genetics. I mean, the kid is very strong, muscle tie-ins, gets very lean, and I can guarantee you if you took health markers after he ate some of the foods or sweeteners or whatever, he doesn't have the inflammation like the other people do. I can guarantee you it's a genetic thing that if he had tested, it's there. So you have to understand, people, like, just because you see someone doing something doesn't mean that you can do it. Doesn't mean it's going to work for your body. Doesn't mean that it's fucking going to work at all for you. But, you know, there are these facts that are out there. Where did I get this? I get this off of foodrenegade.com. Foods causing inflammation. I mean, it talks about all kinds of different stuff, but it definitely goes in depth about, you know, the sweeteners and what they can do to your stomach bacteria, digestion of foods, inflammation. I mean, just because there's no calories in them doesn't mean that it's not going to fuck your body up. I mean, it's, you know, calorically, things can technically make you gain or lose weight. But inflammation-wise and chemical-wise, things can fuck up everything else in your body. It's not just a matter of gaining or losing weight. So be aware that, no, not everybody can drink these fucking sweeteners. Not everybody can have these in their diets and be okay. Some people can. You have to figure out whether you're one of those people or not. Biostraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is a blog. It's a sweetener or no sweetener bicep. It's up to you, and we're out.